Low Greens Influence, that broadcast, brought to you by Complete Insanity. So apparently there's a solar flare going to happen today or tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. I was going to go into this, but I believe others want to hear about it. It's just more spiritual nonsense. I mean, there are portals opening, but whatever happened to December 21st? I thought everything was supposed to be perfect after that day. How's that going? I guess it takes a while. Minor detail. So solar flare is not much different than that. I mean, yeah, there's going to be energy shifts and things. There's always energy shifts, always things going on. This whole solar flare thing, I wouldn't put a whole lot of expectations into it. Unless something does happen, which I don't think it would, but who knows? I'm not making any predictions of anything. Well, I heard one theory, like we're going to go, the world's going to split into third dimension and fifth dimension. How many times have you heard that one? So, yeah. Power to on that one. And also, more important, the Archon Family manipulation. We'll continue to go into that energy. It seemed like that was a good subject matter. And there's a little more PF connected to it. That's the real subject here. It's not the solar flare nonsense. But the solar flare is good. I'll channel the solar flare's energy, see what I get from that. An Earth incarnation of why bother incarnating here, especially when they tell you about solar flares and December 21st and nothing ever happens. It's like it's just nonsense. It's just spiritual holidays. The new Earth is supposed to happen right away or something like that. I mean, we are going to the new Earth, but who knows? It might take 1,000 years or something like that to get to that full phase. But I don't know, just some of this like spiritual propaganda. I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of it gets overhyped. I think it was what the event. I forget what it was. Like, there's been so many of these. I can't keep track of them all. I remember there was one. I don't think it was December 21st, but someone actually thought they were going to die and go to the other side, into the higher dimensions. Now, if they did or not, is another story, but I doubt it. So, yeah. It's like the dark side of the spiritual community. All these made up events. I mean, it has some good to it, but it's just more la-di-da. So, anyway, we connect to the solar flare energy without all the spiritual propaganda connected to it, and see what comes from that. How about that? Instead of all this bizarre intentions. And anyway, that's how we talk combat private sessions. We have the shop here. I forgot what day I'm on. 25th, I think, something like that. Same situation here. Webinar sign up, social network, Rabbit, behind the scenes, and the dating site. Okay. Yeah, this solar flare thing is more overhyped than anything else. Just like anything else, it's the same. I don't know what's going on. We always have to have some kind of spiritual event, and nothing ever comes of it. I mean, it is part of some kind of awakening, but it's just more manipulation. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like boredom, I guess. So, these are frustrating. I mean, back in 2017 or 2018, the world was supposed to end. Maybe I did, and they didn't tell us. I forgot what year it was, but I think that's one of my biggest videos, too. So, anyway. All right, we're going to solar flare energies and see where else we can go with that. All right, blessings. Greetings. We are just the solar flare energies are connecting to your Earth just to clear out all the timelines. But not all the timelines. timelines that you no longer need. It's like a wash down. So that's why some feel like they're going to die, or 5D. It is allowing more 5D energies to connect to your Earth, but many here are not ready for fifth dimension. But you can say it's allowing more of the fifth dimension program to come in. But there's still a lot to learn in your physical reality still. So it's not over yet, as some might think. Now, there might be a change in direction in your lives, yes. A more hopeful energy coming through, which will help many. But some do have high expectations because they want their misery to end. But that is on them. The solar flare vibration is much with nature to heal the manipulations that have hit nature through various different beings, through human energies. Basically, to heal a lot of human remorse, human negativity, emotions that have lost themselves here. Souls have lost themselves. It also helps to heal the lower astral to some extent, not all of it. But what is allowing itself to release from the earth? So it's a purge, a form of enlightenment. Now, is anything going to happen in your tomorrow day? Unlikely. Vibrationally, on individual level, yes. You will probably feel an awakening throughout the coming days. You feel yourself going into a new vibration as new timelines are emerging. For some of you, where you feel like you're going into a new direction, it's like kind of like a push into a new direction. However you want to perceive it. It is different for everyone, but some do put their expectations into it a little bit too much. And some of that is manipulation that others fall for. Such like the coming of Christ and things of that sort. Whereas Christ really technically has not left. His energies are very easy to access on a spiritual level. He never left. He's always been here, along with many of you that you left, and technically you never left. You've always been here also. After your death and resurrection, though, of course, was done in other dimensions. But your world is not acknowledging for now. Oh, but yes, the astral world will become more knowledgeable on your world, different aspects of it. There are parts of astral where souls feel like they're still being damned and they're not fully being healed. But that's their experience. That does not have to be your experience. Your astral experience can be very positive. But others aren't always ready for that. They have to go through conflict in astral also, because they have not fully healed themselves on multiple levels. They don't always trust themselves. There's many different levels of that. So, let's just see. Greetings to you. We are the Archons. Greetings. Yes, your incarnation, your Earth incarnation is incarnated as a child. Some of you remember, most of you don't, but where you're opened to the higher realm knowledge, you can easily connect to the fifth and sixth dimensions, even higher. Of course, the programming of your parent energies, as they've been told on the astral level, to shut down your vibration. They're literally told that in the astral realms. Now, not all parents go by it. They say no, they might have an illness possibly, or some kind of attack possibly. It's like, I'm not doing this to my child. I'm not going to program my child for Earth incarnation. Where your child is more open. Now, there are spiritual people that help their spiritual children to be evolved, but if they're already manipulated through spiritual manipulation, such as they think they know everything, of course, the child's going to receive a lot of that and say, this is not for me, and shut down. So if you're growing up in an intuitive family that's aware of their abilities, you can do this for a living, and you have a grandchild or a child that says, I'm not doing it, that shows there's most likely there's corruption going on, because it doesn't look like fun. as it could be. You'd be surprised how many spiritual families are completely corrupt. Well, because they have a certain mindset. So when the child is born here, of course, they are programmed easily, normally, especially in a sports family. Easy programming, just like that. But those of you that want a more awakened ability, now this is happening more on a very, very small scale where the manipulations are not as heavy anymore on children, where they can remember themselves and realize that the child can feel the parent's belief system. If the parent now, some children are there to just keep themselves open. They're just going to tell their mom and dad anything. It's like, I see a ghost right there, and dad's cheating on you. That's their purpose there. But it's not always the case. Sometimes a child will just shut down due because the parents aren't ready for anything. And that's part of the process. Now they agree on that on different levels. So basically we're saying a child can break free of the programming, as many of you have known. It makes life even more difficult, but it can be done, as some of you probably experience. Well, then you're rebelling against everything. Against religion, against everything. Education system, everything. That's a true rebel here. Not an easy life either. It's difficult to do anything. So some do compromise. They compromise through schooling, through college. Well, they want to have some kind of sanity here, but some of you is like, no, the hell with it. I'm not going to be part of any of that. And yes, life is tougher, but the rewards do come through eventually. But the parent programming, yes, is much of it is through the astral plane. To shut down the parents, to put fear into the parents. Once again, sports, the perfect program for humanity. You don't even realize you're being programmed. It's friendly to an extent. There's other forms of it, but sports was one of the strongest ones. We'll just use that for an example. It's like the ease it into the child's program, and the Earth program comes with it. The phobias, the be scared of everyone, acne, all of this stuff. It's kind of like wrapped in a package of sports. Of course, there's entertainment also, and on and on. It's all the packaging of this reality. Done by reptilians and other beings, of course. It's done in such a sophisticated way. Of course, they have cartoons here and little things to make this reality attractive to people. And you can say it's been attractive to most people to a certain extent, but many of you are finding it very unattractive. And that's how you're deprogramming reality. You're not accepting the program anymore. You're going against it. Or even if you see a tree, you don't really give into the tree energies anymore. You just don't give into anything anymore. So whatever is here in this reality, I'm not going to be a part of it. And that's when you truly start to break free of all of this. And you see more of the fourth dimension come more clearly over time, depending on who you are. That's the true rebel here. Not the easiest. Yes, there are blockages. The reason why there are blockages where you can't see like you want to see is because you have a timeline here. You're here to experience this as something, have a career of some kind to feed yourself at least, because you can truly break free out of this reality, have no career whatsoever, nothing. But how do you survive with that? So you're not always meant to have that. I mean, yes, you can live out in the woods and live off the land that's not always for everybody. Many of you, yes, have ties with other family members to help them through this too. It's like I got programmed to release a lot of the programming. We have a daughter or family member of some kind that you're here to pull out of the flood of manipulation, which is not easy. So you're deprogramming just by having your energy there. You don't necessarily have to be connected to that person physically, especially as a family member, child. A lot of people are losing child custody cases, things like that. You like to awaken your child to more what's going on. They're not always ready for it. That's part of it, but that's not always the reason for it. Well, the Earth has a story. It has a plan. It might not be the best plan, but it has a plan that many signed up for. You might not like the plan that you signed up for either, but you somewhere there's an opening where it all makes sense. You might not like the journey, but when you get to the point that you're looking for to really change humanity, open things up more, part of the awakening, whatever it might be. Not everybody's part. And also break down false representatives of the spiritual realms that are here. Yes, many are not fully ready for it as they might think they are. I mean, how many are ready to go non-physical just like that? Doesn't mean you have to, but at least acknowledge non-physical realms more clearly. And it's a little bit hard to understand that for some, which is quite understood. Because once again, the attractiveness of this reality, whatever it might be, everyone has not everybody, most people have something in this reality that they hold on to. Is it like entertainment? Is it sports? It's like you have your hook. Is it a relationship? Like if that relationship dies, people say, well, I don't know why I'm here anymore. So that's your hold. You have some kind of linkage to keep you here. It's just like your soul linking to your body. It has an organ it hooks onto. But also in your incarnation, you have something that drives you. Of course, maybe you're looking for a drive right now. There's a drive to find a drive. That does get a little bit, but a lot of that's karma connected also. Why things aren't making complete sense. But yes, the Archon family, that's those that enjoy this place more than anything. Like this is their heaven. Yes, have not healed their negativity, as you can see. And yes, there's a lot of knowledge here, but the knowledge can sometimes go too far, meaning the warning ends and it becomes more an obsession. Like they're obsessed over this reality. Many are. They don't know why. They're just holding on to it for dear life. Even if the soul is not learning anything, they still hold on to this reality no more because of the physical essence of it. Especially when they go into astral realms and then they have to see everything again. You have to see heaven, hell, and everything, and they don't always want to see it all. But some of you are looking forward to it. Some of you already deal with it here already because you're open more to these other realms. You just kind of know it's here. And the physical, there's always going to be, if you're mastering this physical reality, most likely you connect to another one. And sometime in the future, it doesn't have to be here, but most likely be somewhere else. Well, there's always, the physical is always going to be difficult. It's always going to have some kind of challenge. And these more challenging incarnations is the physical realms, which are many of them. They're just not mentioned very often. Now, Archon beings come here kind of like children and try to grab on, at least the ones that have kind of lost their way. They try to grab onto everything, everyone, everything, knowledge. They try to grab onto everything because they are called parasites to a certain extent, but they want all the knowledge to build character. And some of you have your schizophrenics are very much an Archon energy, but also those with multiple personalities are known to be Archon beings too. It's like they can't always choose what personality they want. Now, that's not always the case for all multiple personality beings, but there is a linkage there. But family, one moment, manipulation. As before you incarnate, you choose, as many feel like they don't, but you always choose in some form or another. Maybe not recently, but you chose somewhere. It's like if I get thrown on Earth, I want this type of experience. If I get thrown into Earth against my will, I want to have some control somewhere. So they are allowed. It's like, kind of like picking what you want to eat for dinner. There are some things that come with a package deal. You might not like pork rinds, but that might be there on the dish or something like that. I mean, if you get pulled in this incarnation, you do have some kind of choices in astral before you're fully born here. So if you're stuck here, you're sent here to incarnate here, you still have time to design what you look like and everything. If it's already, the deal has been done. Greetings. We are the Earth's consciousness. You say we are connected to planet Mother Earth, planet Earth. Your incarnation here of why. There are many whys, questions. Not all questions are here to be answered. Yes, this physical realm shuts down all answers, as you can see, most answers, due to its contracts with other planets. Other planets feel they can manage this world better than this world can manage itself. So other planets have manipulated this world on many different levels. Now, some of you have come from those places. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. It's different. So you wonder why souls get pulled into here for certain reasons. You're not always aware of other worlds. Normally you are, but not everyone's fully aware of the other planets that are linked to this world. And yes, the truth can hurt. The truth can truly hurt. Some beings incarnate here as horrible human beings, come from dark planets, but actually become better over time, sometimes instantly. You see the ugly, it's like, this is prison, this is purgatory. Oh, all of a sudden I'm a better person, just like that. So some Palladians send their criminals here. Sometimes they're instantly refurbished, renewed, just like that. It's like, because many beings feel like they're not going to be sent to this planet. I know this sounds strange being sent here, but it does happen. And some beings feel like there's no way the Palladians are going to make me incarnate, and they do it. And normally there's a positive rehabilitation energy there. And some souls find their way into prison very quickly. You're already in a prison planet, but go to another prison. Because, well, some of those come from reptilian worlds. So. Well, they like the darkness. They feed off of it. It's like, where is the darkest place on the planet can I go? Of course, there's other countries you can go to also, but sometimes you die too soon. And you don't want to die. You just want to feed off the low vibrations. So there's a great deal of that happening here. So it's understanding the other planets that are connected to yours, because there's many hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of worlds that incarnate here from other planets. Other planets are linked here. They're not really showing us the full numbers. It doesn't really matter. We don't look at numbers. But to say millions of other planets that are connected to your world that send their beings here. This is why there's so much diversity here also. China shows there's a higher vibration, but also shows a control mechanism. It's controlled because they can show too much. It's shut down for a reason. They can actually open up more and they'll have reptilians and all kinds of beings there already. They technically do already, but you just don't see them in the physical. Technically, China can just be your alien hub, basically. Yes, go to a fish market and see Zetas and other type of beings there, and there's your alien world. There's a possibility of that happening on your world in your future also. Technically, it's happening now, it's just not seen that way. Of course, you have Chinatown in different cities also that shows that there's this, and yes, many want to go to war with China. Well, of course, because it is part of the awakening. And of course, to go to war with it is to shut it down. Or will that just open things up even more? We believe mostly will open things up even more, actually. Well, because they don't have to hide anything anymore. They can allow themselves to flourish and allow their magic to become more known. It is magical there. It might not always feel that way because of censorship. Because of the programming of most of the planet. So incarnating here is many soul agreements. You might have set a soul agreement here millions of years ago, and as you got sent here recently, you activated that soul agreement. So sometimes you can have soul agreements with this world, but it's not as much fully activated. I mean, you can be an alien being but still have a contract with Earth, but it has not fully agreed to it yet. And then it's like, I had this contract from 1 million years ago, and I see your Earth is progressing to the energy that I can handle, and now I'm ready to come in. That's where a lot of your technology engineers and all that come from. Well, because they had a contract, so we'll come back to your world when your world is ready for technology. And sure enough, they all just happened to become from stone. You know, you had farmers, you had woodworkers, now you have computer scientists. Where did that come from? Yes, they come from other places. And I've become more clear to some of you. There's just a deep healing what the Earth has to go through. The Earth has a lot of wounds. Well, it's been going to war with other planets all the time. As you feel like you're being abused here, well, the Earth obviously is feeling, but other worlds are feeling they're taking advantage of this world's energies, which they are. The resources, the vibrations of it. Some higher dimensional worlds feel like they can do whatever they want here, and they do it. But they don't always have the best intentions. But they like the resources here. This is why you get a lot of arrogant people here too. They have a lot of luck. That everything's working out for them. They're usually very attractive, but not always the best intentions. There are Illuminati planets that many beings are afraid of for various reasons. Some of you are not afraid of it. Some of you have actually been a part of it many times. So how you can be afraid of something that you are. And some of you helped shut down the planet. Now you're here to awaken it. Of course, shutting down the planet during Atlantean times, actually before the Atlantean times, because there's other civilizations before Atlantis, obviously it was closed, hidden for many, many reasons. Eventually that'll be unlocked in due time. But the Earth incarnation here is basically just allowing yourself to, yes, go outside what you've been told already. Your intuition of, okay, if I'm from another planet, maybe not the Pleiades, where do I come from? Is it a planet? Is it an obscure planet that no one's even heard of, out in the middle of nowhere on the other side of the universe? That's a high possibility. And of course, the incarnate here, I feel very alone here. So in my world, everybody wore the same color shoes. That's just an example. There are worlds where everyone's the same height. There are midget worlds, and so there's elephant worlds, as you know. There's especially elephant worlds. Actually, elephant beings are very good at spiritual connections and technology. Normally, elephant beings don't really need technologies; they have spiritual energies, but they can have technologies from other alien beings, so they can interact with them. So you can say animal beings, some of them, like elephants, for example, lower their vibration so they can connect to Palladian beings and Syrian beings, so they can experience that. It's been quite exciting, actually, for them. Well, they lower it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just to experience what it feels like to be a fourth dimensional being. Of course, the third dimension has been one of the highest challenging worlds. Not many are ready for an elephant being just yet.